Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, Chris. Let's chat a little bit. Sorry about some of the audio issues about like the last couple of streams. I think they're resolved now. Blame Windows. I didn't realize it reset one of my audio settings. So hopefully, just let me know, chat, if the music sounds okay, if the sound effects and voice volumes are corrected. But I took a look at it after yesterday's stream. I think it's mostly good. Yeah, so some of it got reset. It was weird because it had like half the settings, Calvisham. Like it had my filters, but it had the wrong volume limit on it. I'm not sure how that happened. But anyway. So I didn't notice it on the quieter songs, but I could see on the louder songs, it wasn't stopping where it should have. It was very weird. But anyway. We're going to be playing Bastion today. We're going to thank Chris from the chat for helping get the game. So here's all I really know about the game. It's from the same makers of Hades. It's going to be an action game. It has a central narrator that will be narrating a lot of the game. I believe we are a silent protagonist for the most part. And we'll see where it goes from there. So let's jump into the game. So I was looking through the menu and I saw this option called story and I'm like, what is story? And I clicked on it and it's like play easy mode. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're not playing easy mode. Help and options. I thought it was interesting they have a how to play. I'm going to choose not to look at this in case this comes up during gameplay. But I guess if you are curious and you want to learn more about the game before you even play, it's in there. I'm just showing you my settings. I had to turn subtitles on. I don't think it matters with vertical sync, but we'll see. We're in profile 1. In case we want to play the game multiple times. We can get soundtrack, visit website, join mailing list, follow on Twitter. Anyway, let's go to the main menu. Let's continue normal mode, I guess.
Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky.
Okay, I'm assuming it wants me to move. I was just curious if it would do anything if I held still for a bit.
He gets up.
I get up,
sets
chat.
off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
Oh, he feels slow. Look at him. What happens if I just walk off? Okay, I can't. I had to check, chat.
Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why.
I'm pressing other buttons. I can't seem to do anything else other than
And
move.
then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
Okay,
Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road.
I do like that it did let me walk off there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's a touching reunion.
Okay, so I could destroy the walls. There we go. There's your fast move. The dodge button.
He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the calamity.
Not the calamity, chat.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella. Forced out from underground.
So you could cancel the dodge by
Pops him
attacking.
dead. Fella got a piece of him, though.
To see what I'm doing here, this is the dodge roll, and then I attack. So normally I move about this fast, but I could get like a little bit of a boost. Just like a little bit of momentum canceling. So I guess if I just attack like I'm playing Soten.
Out of the sky. gift from the gods, but it'll have to do.
They got a gun.
Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
So you can see myself stopping the roll early. Very interesting. So far, I don't think there's a point to destroying anything, but I'm sure in the future it will matter.
Kid just rages for a while.
I love the game commenting me on just destroying random things. Thank you, game. Really see the start of the Hades style? A little bit.
Thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink.
See, kind of like in Hades for people that haven't seen the game.
Squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines.
The narrator is going to be speaking the whole game, so if the narrator is not your thing, oh boy. He's not going to stop outside this level. He will talk pretty much throughout. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some gaps in some levels, but I fully expect him to talk whenever we complete any level or start a level or see a boss.
It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view. Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her.
He's no Hades narrator, but it doesn't seem so bad. The Hades narrator was pretty good. That I fully agree with. So let's observe what we have here. We have 3 potions, which is presumably our healing in the upper left. XP for killing. My health bar from when I bonked earlier. And then I saw what looked like money in the upper right.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did.
Take that, apples.
Then Kid finds his trusty shield.
I just murdered him. Nice. Shield.
But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief. Special delivery. Gas, fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call.
Nice.
More squirts start coming out of the woodwork.
So if I'm at full health, it seems like healing gives me experience, which is interesting.
A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop.
There's the window. I love how the arrow's like, it's like, acknowledge me. Oh, don't worry. I understand how evade works, game. It's
He gets
fine.
a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke.
So kind of like in Hades, it seems like I'm acquiring... So in Hades, you could only really have one weapon at a time. This one, it seems like I'm allowed to have all of my weapons all at once. Interesting. Is there a way to swap back to the gun? I actually like the gun over the bow.
It wasn't long before the kid could loose an arrow, strong and true.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the rapid shooting. I don't like that I can't tap
Kid
that.
spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back.
Something stringy.
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
I'm assuming it wants me to open the info menu to learn more about it, but I'm like, that's fine. We didn't do that in Hades. I'm gonna enjoy the game for what it is. Hello, Chaosvania. We are talking about Hades. So this is one of the games by the same developers.
Defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
We tried to rapid fire to no avail. You're right. That would be very on point. We haven't really taken damage, so let's get that. Whirlwind. I'm assuming this is magic, and that's what the right trigger will do.
Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner.
Okay, so it has like a booze icon, I guess, or something, or a spirit icon. And I have 2 more uses of Whirlwind left, I see. Oh, our money went down into the pit. Rip. What's called Black Tonic. Okay, it's not booze, allegedly.
He finds the distillery right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town.
It looks like we're starting to get into potentially a real town hub. We're starting to get some buildings. It wants me to go in there, but what if I don't?
The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Repeater. So I can swap out presumably at certain stages. Getting rid of the hammer for the bow looks horrendous. I can't believe I'm allowed to do that. I don't think I want to do that at all. Sometimes I just want to pew pew full screen.
One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man.
Wort Cider, plus 10 max health. Chance to crit, absorb stray fragments. I guess for convenience, I could just absorb stuff so I guarantee I get the experience. We're gonna get Fetching Fizz, absorb stray fragments. Start as a baroom. Oh, barroom. I got confused. I'm not used to seeing that as one word. Prank but evolved to become popular with miners and scrap workers. Metallic aftertaste. So, like, the bow would help in this kind of... Oh, I almost fall. Would help in, like, this kind of scenario. But everything else, I'd rather have this.
Like crazy in a couple of corn bins.
Hopefully we can also upgrade the weapons, like in Hades. I know we're very early in the game, so that's why I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't upgrade or whatever. But we'll see. Hopefully that'll happen in the future. I took a little bit of damage there. That is so sad. At least if I never use spirits, I get XP faster. So I'm just not going to use Whirlwind because the game has taught me to not do that. I don't know if it's intentional for it to encourage that or not. We'll see.
That one was Maud, the tutor. Once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though.
And I murdered her. Let's go further.
An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
Oh, I dodged slightly too slow. I had the right idea though.
Kid better watch his step.
You can roll off with the ship. Now I know.
Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did.
Every time I hit it, it shrinks a little more. Alright, the gun damage is pretty low. Oh, hopefully we'll get some, at least some tonics. Some tonics would be kind of nice. Still, I took a little bit of damage from that, which is kind of annoying. Oh, that's not a solid path. That is not a solid path, as I've learned. My bad. Maybe I will be forced to use the bow. That's kind of unfortunate.
Robs a scumbag of his last meal.
Absorb all of these. So I could see around its feet are the health icons. So you can see like the gun, entire clip is barely doing one.
Kid puts him out of his misery.
Plus 2 max health. I mean, so far I'm not really too concerned about dying. I haven't actively used a healing potion. I picked up healing potions that have healed me, but I'm not like ever getting super low. We have a lot of
the core to the wharf district.
We have like 398 of something.
He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling you better get a move on. The place is starting to fall.
I'm gonna hit that XP.
See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy.
Somersaulting like crazy.
At last, the skyway's in sight.
Okay, we're out of there.
Where it needs to go.
Customize or change control settings in the help and options menu.
Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races.
And now we're at the hub.
Did anybody else survive?
Okay, so if it's a small gap like this, I can walk on it. That's good to know.
Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me.
Oh, a stranger.
We talk for a spell.
City crest. Ask about the seal representing the city of Caledonia. Those only meant to be for uniform and identification.
There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores.
Ask about the core. Ask about the large bluish mineral found in Wharf District. It feels warm to the touch and hums like a motor. What exactly does it do?
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch.
Whistleberry, what? Ask about what happened to Nacy, the girl who used to pin her hair back with this. Is she here? Where is everybody?
I tried to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right. Said no one else showed up. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build.
Let's build an arsenal. Arsenal mirror shield available.
The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to.
Yeah, see how there's an X and a Y? That makes me think there's gonna be like an upgrade or something else later on. Fine game. I'll use the breaker bow.
Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand.
So we have 2 other building slots so far. Potentially could get more.
don't know what's out there waiting for him.
The kid doesn't know, chat. This will take the Skyway.
The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
Proving ground. Here the Beakers once honed their skills and focus with their bows. Okay, let's try a proving ground.
The Breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets in the fewest shots.
Fewest shots, okay.
He's focused, he's armed, and he's off.
I'm just trying to decide what would the fewest shots be. So I think you would have to shoot vertically here. I don't see how... I don't think these line up in a way that I could do with anything else. So if I shoot those, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots? Is there a way to do it in less than 5? So no matter... So I keep seeing 5. If chat sees the solution for 4, let me know. So I could do, like, I do an entire row. Like, if I aim this way, it would be 1, 2... Then it would be, like, 3, 4, and then a lone one is 5. That way I don't have to worry about if those line up or not. I'm not seeing a different way to do this. I was thinking if you would go, like, across. So if these line up, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, maybe if I go, like, how I'm walking here, maybe I could get more. If these two line up. I can't tell if these line up. I guess we'll find out. Oh, they don't die in one hit? Oh, that's a problem. I kind of want to restart it then. It's kind of annoying. So it makes that little sound when I manually aim it. Oh, yeah, that does not feel good. We might have to come back for this one.
Perfect shot just happens in a flash.
So unless you get the power shot, you need multiple shots. That's kind of brutal. That is kind of brutal, I'm not gonna lie. As you can see, it's already somewhat annoying to aim. That's too many shots for sure.
It's on the right, solid performance.
Okay, but we could get some things from it, if nothing else. Next, probably 5 shots or fewer. Okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking. But I have to power shot every single one. That is annoying.
He returns with some of the materials we need.
Alright, I might come back to that later when I get used to the bow. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Like, I know it's doable, but that just looks really annoying to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna move on. And hit Y for info.
Barracks. Many straight shooters learn their way here. The workman ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here. The Bastion. Ceylondia's safe haven. Once the highest point in the city. Too bad it wasn't finished before the calamity struck.
Ceylondia. Okay. Let's focus on getting a core. Again, we could get abilities that make the proving grounds easy, but we should at least see what the proving grounds are in case it helps us level up faster. I'm not in a rush for more abilities, to be honest. I mostly just want to get stronger weapons, if possible.
Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong.
Or get more drinks, because the drinks seem to improve our powers.
Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time.
Oh, I didn't notice the one that was next to me. It's too busy looking ahead. Stupid enemy spawning next to me. That's evil. Don't do that. between bad and wrong,
Yet
apparently.
I've never seen an elephant squirt before.
Yeah, I don't like that they can literally spawn where I am. I don't like that. Doesn't give me a lot of time to react to them just kind of appearing randomly. I don't mind them spawning in front of me, but like literally adjacent to me is kind of ridiculous.
Hopes he'll never see one again.
Okay, there we go. We got some kind of book.
They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed.
I don't really
No
want
sign
to
of
use
the
it.
core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble.
Don't really want to use it. Oh, what's this? Worm machete?
Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw.
Oh, that's fast. Hello, barkeep. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? It's going okay.
Them squirts just don't know when to quit.
Oh, so if I'm mashing it, I don't get to go very far at all while attacking compared to the hammer. How I feel about that?
Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock.
I gotta be careful. I think the lore summons a friendly one. Interesting. Ranged hood.
No white gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing.
Oh, excuse me, ragged. Makes more sense.
And there it is. But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage.
Make some of these.
The blustery old foreman's keeping his fellas in check. Almost like he's showboating for the crowd.
I need to figure out their range with the slam. It's much more than I think it is. I think that's why I got hit last time. Yeah, it is like an AoE. It is like a pretty big AoE. It's not just like in front of them. That's annoying.
And now there's a new marshal in town.
Oh, now they love me. Oh, I wanted to get more kills.
He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to follow. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole.
It's like a...
He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. Some scumbag still feeding off the city's own trash.
Oh, that's just poison damage. I thought it just slowed you down. Oh, that kind of sucks, actually. I mean, it makes sense. It's just one of those things I just
There
noticed.
he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel.
Like, sadly, it is kind of more efficient to just do, like, a very light charge into 2 light charges, if I'm not going to get the power shot. Oh, I did not think you would actually reach me from there, to be honest with
The
you.
calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition. They always said old Gershel wouldn't go without a fight.
Or Gershel. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this new weapon. I mean, it gives you a ranged option if
The
you're
rest of the
desperate.
path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge.
So one quick arrow does interrupt their attack, which is interesting.
Somehow that old forge is still standing.
Sure, we'll heal up. Away we go, chat.
Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his.
Upgrade for breaker bow. Something fancy, presumably for a weapon I don't have. So I can upgrade the hammer. 50% more damage, maybe. What is the bow upgrade? Roll speed up. I kind of want to see what these other ones are. +2 target penetrations per shot. So I have to choose which upgrade I want. Interesting. X deal damage over time, deal critical chance. I think with hammer, I'd rather just have consistency.
Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting.
I can swap it later for free. That's interesting. I mean, I could try to get more penetration shots, which would probably make the other challenge easier.
With a good length of Miska, that bow's like new again.
Oh, 50% damage. So if I do get another 375, I could do the bow challenge. Because before, if I didn't power shot, it wouldn't kill them. But now I have not double penetration. I have like 2 extra penetrations plus 50% damage. And that would cause me to win the other challenge quite easily. I'm going to hold on to the rest of my points. I don't think I'm going to use the war machete for now. But as soon as we're leaving, I'm just going to get rid of it. And just focus on the hammer. I'd rather just have brute force damage.
Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started.
Okay, so nothing else to do here, so let's leave. Now,
He comes back, just like I knew he would.
Now, curiously,
The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it.
I wonder if we can move the forge here, because it seems like there's slots for other buildings. But for now, let's try to get the distillery. Let's ask him about the Ragged Hood. That's about Ragged Hood belonging to some ill-fated gas fellow. Why are they flooding the city, ransacking its remains?
The windbags used to be all right. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him.
He's a friendly word. Spins. It's our fan chat that loves us. So I didn't get... Oh, I didn't put the core in, I think.
Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next.
So what are our choices? The forge, the distillery. I think distillery because I already used the forge.
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
+1 chance to carry on if defeated. Okay, so that's a free revive. Where risky, 100% crit chance. Interesting. See, where risky plus hammer seems really stupid with my other build. 33% speed while defending. 100% crit. Only available when at full health. I'll probably do this one.
Dread rum's brewed from swamp weeds, so its effect is as bold as its flavor.
Oh, mirror shield's a technique. That makes sense. Popular children's birthday parties seem useful for various other scenarios. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so there are techniques specific to weapons. So I have one for the hammer. I could potentially get one for bolt repeater. Something like this is probably fun. I don't know. I'll just leave it to that. So yeah, now I have 10% crit while at full health, and I do 50% more damage. So this should be a lot of silly damage on those annoying enemies. If I could kill them in just 1 or 2 hits, rather than like 3 or 4 swings of machete, I'll be much happier with that, because we know we could do the kind of like the shield dashing that Odin has. We want to like roll and then cancel into an attack.
Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out.
So we need to get more of the, I forget what they call them, but the essence essentially, so that way we can redo the bow challenge and finish it off. Let's go to Sundown Path.
The Sundown Path. Lovely place for a stroll. Before the calamity, that is.
So our little quote-unquote shade will be cheering us on.
Couples used to walk the Sundown Path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though.
I just like that the hammer moves so much further per swing. Because I just want to be mobile. I think just standing still in general is kind of a death sentence. We're gonna do this to pick up money faster.
Somebody gets to the core before the kid.
Oh, that's awkward.
Floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky.
There's the crit. Well, good thing we have the absorb souls thing.
Everywhere. Security is all fired up.
Oh, it's still doing damage. Oops, I thought I stopped shooting.
See the
Oh, it's my bad.
intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery.
Okay, we're getting a lot of money by doing this area. That was the wrong button. It's the button I wanted. So if I time the block, it does say counter.
Bridges link the path together.
This thing.
One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd use to search the stars. But calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows.
I am so glad we got the magnet, by the way. It's already completely paid off. Stupid ooze. Hate the ooze monster, chat.
Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we could do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake.
Oh, I got stuck on them.
Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back.
By Frog Blob, indeed. Extra XP. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that you get XP for over-spiriting, because that just makes me never want to use it, because I just want more XP.
No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them.
Like, I don't really want to see what the ability does. Kinda don't. Oh, can't. Oh, it's a gate. I can't go through. Or can I? Wait, no, I can.
Even gas fellows need some shut-eye from time to time.
Wait, I'm confused.
Real cranky when you wake 'em up.
There we go. I wasn't sure if that was progress or not. We're gonna go back. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave, because I don't really need to fight anything here.
In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity?
So we didn't get the core. Something or someone else took it.
So he didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us.
But I'm not sure how much we can trust the narrator, quote unquote. I wouldn't be surprised if the stranger caused the calamity. Yeah, let's ask him about the bronze spyglass we got. Only the stars remain on the horizon, the mountains are gone. We're no closer to the stars now, are we?
We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built.
We played a few games where there's been unreliable narrators, so I'm not super trusting of him at the moment. So we need to get another core to use a forge, unless I go back to the other place.
Can't be too careful these days.
Humbled instead of using. That's my bad. Let's go back to the forge. Oh, you can't go back to it. Then we'll go back here.
The melting pot. Place hoarded all sorts of fineries from beyond the boundless sea.
Okay, so we definitely need a forge, so I can get the final bow upgrade.
In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt.
Poor squirts, they just got absolutely destroyed.
Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stab weeds.
Assuming stab weeds damaged me. Something nasty? Oh!
Blasted things hurt like a broken heart.
Again, I don't like them spawning literally on me. I don't like that. Cause I'm walking around and I'm like, there's nothing here. And then it's like, if they happen to partially overlap with me, I'm more looking at like where I'm going, not my character model. I'm not a huge fan of that.
He figures it ought to be deeper down. He cuts down every stab weed like there's gonna be a prize for it.
Damn right I do.
Core stuck inside one of those fancy cages.
Are you cutting with the hammer? We're cutting very well. That's all you need to know.
Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway.
Okay, I don't know what the game wants me to do.
Gotta find a way to spring it open.
Yeah, I know I gotta find a way to spring it open, but I don't know what it wants me to do. Like, where to go. At least we got extra penetration with this. Okay, now something appeared with an... Oh.
He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong?
Might have been under a plant, I'm not sure.
Quite a bit, as it turns out.
Yeah, and the magnet is ridiculous.
Core ever so slow.
Thank you, magnet.
All kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Birdie popped that mean old foreman.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be working. Thank you, Bo. Just need to increase Bo's damage, and then I'll be happy.
Rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30. Hard to tell.
Oh, I saw the projectile a bit late. That sucks. You're dead. It's telling me to use game. I know about the secret skills. I don't want to use them.
Territorial around the core.
Oh, the
Then
gun
a
thing
shipment
is
of
there.
free samples shows up.
It really wants me to use the secret skills. Fine.
One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy.
Fire is not really worth doing that with.
It's a troublesome scene, to be sure.
Oh, lots of enemies.
A few moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7. You give or take a few seconds.
Hello.
Finally, the core's within reach. And done.
Gonna say I feel like I worked for this one, chat. Just get away from me. All that. Really, it landed right where I tumbled. That is something else. I went through almost scratchless.
It ain't
Just
all bad.
places.
As a kid finds some spices from the motherland. Tax free. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge.
Is out of here. Welcome here, Svenja. Hope you're doing well. Bring the monument. Bring to the monument.
I
Monument to
still
improve
remember
Bastion.
the look on his face after that one.
All right, let's see if we can get the forge now.
The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here.
We definitely want 50% more
Kid
damage.
packs a special surprise in every one of those arrows.
So now the bow challenge should be much easier. 55% faster reload or more ammo? Probably more ammo.
Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them.
We'll do cripple foe and damage over
There's
time.
old wood oil, and that blade shines like a light.
We'll save up points for the rest of the other things, because we might have to do challenges with those other weapons. I didn't quite
Fetching
level.
fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it.
Let's talk to him. Talk to him about ancient spices. Where did they come from, and when?
Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Zealandia. It was good living here for a while.
Okay. Where it will spin in place. It does feel like there's going to be other buildings here, despite no circle being there. Although, in hindsight, I guess if I'm constantly going to and from places, I don't know if I like the order of the buildings, but oh well. Let's try the Proving Ground again, but this time with the Super Bow. Should be much easier. Like, I think it was doable before, but now it should just be free.
Kid ain't had enough of the Breaker's barracks.
So we should be able to kill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is all we need. Let's not make this crazy hard.
Takes practice, and a mighty strong bow helps too.
Yeah, now look how much easier this is. A random crit helps, I guess.
He's feeling real proud of that show.
Okay. Much easier. Now what's this? A bow spell. Guess that makes sense.
I almost don't believe it when he says he passed the Breaker's challenge.
I mean, I don't like trip mines, so I'm kind of okay with this. Find a new weapon to use this. Something burnt. Oh no, we're getting a flamethrower? Let's see, proving ground with gun. What's the... Is this just kill as fast as possible? What's the bonus for this?
No place better than Trapper Shingle for learning to tread light and shoot straight. But trappers had to tread real careful here, else take a nasty fall. They train themselves by clearing out the targets, while not clearing out the floor.
Oh, so just rapid fire.
Any good trapper knows never to take a step till the time is right.
Random crit is kind of nice. Oh, I missed it by one.
Trapper's got something extra to give him an edge.
I missed it by one. That's so sad. I think we were off by one hit target. Wow, that sucks. We were off by one. That is so sad. I literally just couldn't get the last one. That is so sad.
To think a rickety place like the Shingle survived, and so little else did.
And I was so close to first trying it. That's so sad. Can we upgrade the gun again? We can. Oh, more damage.
That'll
Yes.
make those fangs sink in nice and deep.
Alright, now it's gonna be much easier. So we got the thing needed to make the challenge easier. More ammo, and if I crit randomly, it should just one bullet it.
Kid decides to keep working his aim and footwork on the Shingle. Best time to pick a new spot was when swapping magazines.
That guy's trying to teach me how to do it, but I'm like, no, that's okay. I need to just move more. Yeah, that was much faster.
Master trappers got what they needed for a better hunt.
Snooze dart, whatever. I was like, I mostly just needed to. I thought we would kill a little
The
faster.
trappers would have been impressed with how the kid handled the Shingle.
That's fine. I don't really want this gun. Oh, got rid of it. Good. Crit lore, trip mine, hand grenade, whirlwind, dancing shot. Or we'll put on dancing shot. Oh, since I can't revisit places, is it possible for me to not be able to hit max level? Huh, I didn't think about that until just now. Right, chat?
Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful.
I would have taken more time to kill things.
Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train their throwing arms.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I don't like this challenge at all.
Slippery little devils.
Oh, I do not like this weapon at all, chat. It like combines all of my least favorite components of weapons that I don't like. Oh, I can't block at all. Oh, you should have told me I can't block in the challenge game.
Place to test their finest blade.
Apparently blocking is cheating for some reason. I mean, did it warn me I couldn't block? I don't think it did. Yeah. It's like bow, but so much weaker, and it just doesn't pierce. Or if it does, I'm not hitting with it. Yeah, it's like non-piercing bow. Wow. Okay, this challenge is horrendous. I don't think I'm gonna redo this one. They can keep whatever machete secret they want here. Where is the other? Oh, there it is.
Kid cuts all of them down soon enough.
Wow, third prize, brutal. Under 90 seconds. I mean, okay. I'm gonna go like I don't know about that challenge.
Kid comes back from Windbag Ranch, smelling good and ripe.
And at least I could see what the forge was. Why did toggle zoom? Oh, I could zoom out. +1 blades per throw. It's a critical hit damage. Yeah, just go for this if I want to in the future.
War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them.
I don't know. We'll come back to the challenge later to get the other one. I don't care about first place. I should at least get the second place. We'll go to the Hanging Gardens next.
The Hanging Gardens. Folks used to go here to relax from their relaxing.
I imagine you have to do it in 60 seconds, but yeah, that felt pretty terrible. If that was supposed to make me like the weapon, I now never want to use it again. So good job. Good job, game.
The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around.
Goodbye, random statues of people that I guess that we can't cure because they could just kill them.
These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close.
Yeah, you did, narrator. That's why you're still alive.
Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh.
I'm just curious if I can shoot the
It's
other
a
guy.
snag or two trying to get to him.
Oh,
He ain't about to stop, no matter what.
that was rude.
He's got so many questions after all.
That actually hit me. Oh, that sucks. The room is small enough that it... Wait, what? Is there another one around the
Just
corner?
ain't got time for answers.
Oh, maybe not. Weird. I don't like how small that room was.
Didn't make it.
Oh, hello. Speaking of rude, that
They
spawn was
never
rude.
saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nordy, the bird boy, didn't make it.
Bye, Nordy. Are you a hidden item? Or no, you're just a path.
The Jawsons, they didn't make it.
Bye, the Jawsons.
Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived.
I see a shiny. Let's get the shiny.
Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here.
There's two paths. That just leads to points.
Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we?
I don't know if I trust that narrator. That power shot with all that damage was kind of insane. That was like an actual insta-kill.
Survives as well. Kid does what he has to do. And then, what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please.
Survivor agreed to return to Bastion.
He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other. For the first time.
Well, let's talk to Brux. Now that we have his name. Are there many Ura living in the city before the calamity? Can they be trusted here?
We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now.
I'm gonna ask him about all sorts of things. So let's ask him about the city crest first.
For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east.
Oh, the narrator speaks for him as well. I was kind of hoping for at least one other voice. That's a little disappointing. We'll ask him about the Crystal Beret.
We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. On Spyglass.
Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since.
We didn't quite level, which is a shame. I mean, throwing blades might help with the challenge, but I don't know if I'm gonna run into the challenge.
Finished here yet.
Oh, I'm not finished here yet, the game tells me. Fair.
Of course. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright.
Are they going to be alright, though?
Well, look what we have here.
Memorial lost and found. Alright, let's not build the memorial. Let's do lost and found first.
The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again.
Oh, so I could just buy the other upgrades. Stabacynth? I love the name of that one. So I can just buy the next bow upgrade.
All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new.
Okay, I mean, I can't get the upgrade now, but just curiosity, what do we have to look forward to? Draw speed or... Oh, we want draw speed up, I think, is the final one. And then we already have multi-shot. This would actually be pretty good, because then the bow won't take as long to power shot.
We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city.
Yeah, let's go to Cinderbrook Fort first. Too bad it lies deep inside the toughest fort in the city.
That's Cinderbrick Fort, where the marshals used to watch over the city.
I have one job. I'm gonna get as much use of the job as possible. I do all the talking here. You're not wrong.
There's only one way to Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way.
So yeah, draw speed up would be
Sure,
huge for the
city
bow.
marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags.
The back attack is so rude. It is so rude. Like, I just came from there. Don't spawn them there. What were my arrows hitting? I don't... Okay, I don't understand what happened there. I took damage because I shot something, but it hit something, but there's no wall there. I don't know. That was kind of weird. You can't go over here at all. Nothing hidden over here. Just looking to see if other... That's not something I could roll on, apparently. Thank you, game.
Calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky.
What the?
They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid.
Oh, the shots bounce. That's why I got hit the other... Okay, that makes more sense earlier. Why can I not hit this? Why do some of their shots go through, but not the others? Question mark, question mark, question mark, whatever. Ooh, I didn't expect him to reach me from there. Cause I even rolled away from him and he still got me. Kind of silly. Again, on the plus side, we have the absorb money, because we do need money. That's most of it there. Power shot. Nothing more to do over here. We need another 400 or so for the upgrade.
Keep fighting for the fort.
Spawn behind me again. So rude. Honestly, I don't even need to draw the bow back that much. Just like enough. Like that's enough to kill. There's a switch I could use. It's gonna give me a gun, which I honestly don't want to give up my bow for. Whoa, I got stuck there. That was weird. I'm gonna be real with you.
Windbags ain't much different from normal folks.
Can I get rid of my hammer for this?
Place to stay and a decent meal.
You got rid of my best range option for something I don't have that is buffed. Okay, that feels pretty bad. Not gonna lie, that feels really bad to get rid of my strongest range weapon. Feels pretty bad. Cool. Yeah, that's an oof. I know it wants me to experiment with the items, but at the same time, I'm like, but what if all my damage upgrades were on the weapon it just got rid of? I can see why they don't let you do that in Hades.
Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort.
I mean, it seems decent. Like, if all I want is, like, AoE clear, it's not bad with the hammer. It's just that I didn't get an opportunity to upgrade it first.
Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days.
These are some of the Twitch weapons? Yeah, I kind of want to. Okay, that's a small mercy from the game. At least I think they kind of understood.
Windbags can't use martial supplies, but a kid sure can.
Because that even got rid of our skill, if you didn't notice, because I had the other one there.
He stashes the marshal's prize. Goes back to something more his style.
Game calling out itself there.
As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave him enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though.
Ooh, that did a lot of damage.
So many of those sorry things hold up inside that old fort.
I'll probably use the spirit a
Not
little
scratch
more.
on him as he presses on the higher ground.
Now that we're getting to higher levels, maybe I'll use my abilities a bit more, just to preserve my health for the crit bonus, mostly. Leveled up, more health. I think our health so far has been fine. Their damage hasn't been, like, super oppressive to me. I've gotten low-ish, but I've always had, like, 2 or more extra healing, and we could easily get extra healing with the other things if we need it. And we're most of the way there to another item. Bo is just going on a killing spree right now. Thank you, Bo. If I could get draw speed up, I think then I would actually enjoy you very much. I thread the needle there. Super plants. Hey, Chan, I'm not dealing with these. Don't spawning behind me. Don't do that. That's rude. We're gonna bop it on the nose with the newspaper chat. We're like, no. Don't spawn that nonsense near me.
Security is plain gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works.
Alright, like, see, the musket would not really be useful in this situation. Like, the bow is just clearly better at this area than the musket would be. If it was, like, a lot of easy-to-kill one-shotables, maybe?
Kid ain't afraid to get burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds.
I was gonna say, it's targeting something off screen. I felt it kind of like auto-aim me a little bit.
Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles.
Oh, it...
That Glutus, or maybe it was Glandon. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose.
Let's roll. The damage, unfortunate. Let's heal. Take out the spawner.
The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now.
Yeah, I don't like the rapid shot. I'm gonna get rid of it. I like the other ability more. I tried it, don't like it, not gonna use it again.
The windbags finally get the message.
Alright, so I should now have enough for the bow upgrade. Then we can save up for the musket, because inevitably we're gonna have a musket challenge.
Kid used to dream of getting the marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that.
Okay.
And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort.
Let's see what kind of spirits we can have, plus the new weapon.
Kid shows up just as Zolf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf was his smoking pipe.
Smoking pipe? Let's talk to him. Smoking pipe. Where did you get this in the city? They used to say the stuff was very strong.
Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Poor kid collapses after just one drag.
We smoked and passed out instantly.
The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history.
Are we getting backstory after taking too strong of a hit on a smoking pipe? I guess that's a way to get some lore. Winners don't do drugs, chat. Except for us, we're winners. I wasn't expecting a dungeon. This is awkward. I would have loved to have gotten my other upgrade prior to this.
The past catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started.
There's 3 directions to go in. 19 reflections remain. Oh, that's what the enemy type is called? Or does it just mean 19 drug trips remain?
Fair to say he's led a hard life. Supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie.
Oh, it's like an arena. Oh, reflections are just the whole wave. They're waves of enemies. I understand. Which makes this really awkward because I would have just gone to the shop had I known this was gonna happen. So we would have been able to get faster draw speed and another spirit and switch out our skills and maybe use something else.
He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of.
I'm not gonna pick
Frail
those up.
thing with pure white hair like his.
At least the hammer does decent damage. Took a little bit of damage, which sucks.
Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there.
But did the other thing just go in the hole and kill itself? I think it fell in the hole, chat, because I didn't kill the other one.
School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money.
Wow, that thing spawned right in front of me. That was rude. It's like a jump scare. Is there another enemy here? Oh, well, first of all, I couldn't see it. Second of all, you put a black enemy against a dark background? That's messed up.
Like the kid, the walls kept Ceylania safe from whatever's
Like, that's actually messed up from a visual standpoint.
You name it.
I don't appreciate that game. Also, that other enemy definitely just clipped into existence.
Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too.
So now I could get the final bow upgrade. Oh, you have to aim it. You can't just... Oh, that's annoying. Oh, hello. That did some damage. I'm gonna leave that one heal in the corner for now. Aim, please. Aim. Flip me. That sucks. Game, where are you aiming? Am I gonna have to manually aim you? Like, seriously, he's so big. How did you miss?
The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either.
I guess we'll bow whirlwind to victory. Wow, they spawned in late, so I used my special, which roots me in place, and I got hit. This is why I don't like that other special. That right there is the exact reason I don't like that special.
So what'd the kid do? why he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls.
Nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift. Is it because the enemies keep spawning randomly like this? I don't blame them if that's the case. Touch. Thank you, Hammer. Did that really not counter? Wow.
How there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break.
We're gonna be here a while, chat. So keep it. I guess we'll keep in mind. We could randomly get into death arenas in the town. I mean, at least our bow is putting in the work here. Hammer did a little bit of work.
In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals.
I still got
They
multiple
trusted him
heals.
to scout out farther than anybody.
I'm holding 3 heals as well. Thank you, Hammer. Oh, I didn't see that one. That's jump scared me, honestly. Get out of here. Take a little damage there just to cure it.
One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart.
Oh, I thought it was out of range. That sucked. Humble, please.
He saw nothing where the world used to be.
We're still hoarding
The
one heal in the
calamity
corner.
happened, just
which is
like
good.
that.
Well, that was also rude. I mean, it's gonna be slow, but I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not messing
All he had to
around. I'm
work
not
with
redoing
was his
this.
hammer and the clothes on his back.
Like, it's always easy just to charge up a bow shot preemptively. While we're waiting between waves. Nice power shot.
Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest. and
I
an
did
old
not mean
stranger's
to press the
voice
heal
to guide
button.
him.
Unfortunate. Go get it then. Oh, hello. Game, please. If you're not gonna auto-aim at that distance, this skill is terrible. We need to get rid of it. What a... Oh. I fell through there, and I think it took a tonic with it, which also sucks. Oh. That really sucks. Yeah, I think it took her heal there. Wait, are they just not moving? Okay. You know what, Chad? If we're gonna glitch out the enemies, I'm not gonna complain. I think they got stuck on each other.
Will he finally arrived at Caelondia's vaunted safe haven? He and no one else.
Shoot, I missed the easy shot.
This one is special.
Don't want to pick up that healing if I could avoid it, but I think I have to. That's why I wanted to potentially save the other one. Oh, I thought I held right and not down right. That sucks. Although, wait a minute. Are they stuck again? Oh, no, they could go through. That's fine. We still have 3 heals. I really need to get rid of this
Then,
special later.
All they got was more thankless work. from a man who ain't even asked his name.
Also, chat, I've lost track of when the waves are ending. Okay, 2 more. Thank you. I was like, please let me get out of the arena I didn't want to be in. I like that hitting the box just kind of resets them. Swing enemy.
Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real. Not
Walls
me.
and the Bastion. Hello, Mr. Bull. Let's not deal with you, Mr. Bull. Ooh, it's getting low on health at least. There we go.
I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would.
Reflection complete, chat. Get me out of here. Earn essence by going to who knows where and overcoming waves of foes. Yeah, too late. I figured that out the hard way. Let's not do that again by accident. I'm not even gonna talk to them. I don't want to get into another encounter. Get out of here. This was terrible. It was just actually terrible. Hand grenade maybe. Alright, so let's see what we could have used in that fight. Extra health, revive chance, 33%. I don't really care about these that much. I guess I'll do the max health up.
Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste.
Let's get draw speed
His
up.
bow's looking lean and mean like a prize fighter.
Let's buy something that upgrades the hammer first.
Finders keepers.
And then see if we could get hammer at max. That way we're just at full power. Oh wait, we're not even close. New ability, focus attack. Bend for a few moments using bullhead, then attack. Uppercut attacks cause knockback. Okay, well... So if I parry, I get a bigger damage. Whatever. We'll do knockback, maybe.
Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that.
Get other ones. Scrap musket skill, war machete, material. Upgrade the fang machete. I don't really need to. I'm just gonna not buy these for now. Let's continue with dialogue. Marshal's badge.
The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity.
Ask him about the marshal's badge.
Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, we were in that for so long, I
Travels
forgot.
ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this.
Sure, we'll put the memorial. New vigils
The memorial.
available.
Here, a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction, just another one of my sketches. Nothing more.
Okay, see, these are like mini goals. Please check 15 foes in a row without missing. Interesting. So if we get all the first prizes, we get 5,000, which is a lot of points. Never require no mementos, techniques. There's creatures. Some of these require us to use the ones I don't care about. Get to go by counter blocking its melee attack while less than 20% health. Okay, so we could try parrying. Maybe you're supposed to try to parry the spin attack or something to just defeat it. Get a hardy foe with the less bolt and a clip. Rose with a well-timed power shot. I'm surprised we haven't gotten this one, honestly, but whatever. Deal at least 70 damage with the hammer. Hey, fair enough.
Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got.
Why can I not upgrade the gun? Did I not get a part for the gun? Question mark? Maybe we didn't get a gun upgrade until just then? I guess we didn't. 50% range minus 50% spread. 35% range minus 50. I kind of want a more concentrated burst. But we'll see. I don't know. All these are not things that improve its damage, so I'm not a big fan of that. I'll hold on to our points for now. What other challenges do we have? Shield. Gun. Hammer. Alright, let's start with the shield. We'll go to each of the proving grounds. Maybe we'll get more relics.
Always got a fair shake in Celandia. Some used to take the bullhead trial. Survive the trial without taking a scratch, you'd walk away a free man.
Oh. Oh, you could just tap the shield to damage them there. That's interesting.
First, a good defense is a good offense. Second, you gotta always watch your back.
Okay, so you can't rapid tap in this game.
Third, ain't no godlike bull up there gonna save you.
Interesting. So if they're just charging up, I can... Okay, if they do that... The timing still matters. Interesting. Counter's kind of nice. Yeah, I can't rapid tap that. I like that I countered him, but I still took damage. That sucks. You saw that, right? Like, I definitely countered, and then it was like, nah, you take damage anyway. Cool. Game, please. I was like, what do you want from me? There was like 3 counters in a row. Felt cruel. Why am I taking damage from these? I don't understand. I'm like, I am countering them, and I'm not letting go of guard. I'm gonna go with I don't understand, and we're not gonna get many things on this challenge.
When to just step aside and let things go.
His little angry face.
The kid pulls through in fine form.
It's surprisingly okay, according to the prizes. 3 hits or fewer? Wow, okay. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll be real with you, chat. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna go for 100% in this game. I'm gonna just get what I need.
Always wanted to compete in the bullhead trial.
And move on. Let's get more of these.
It wasn't fixed. It was unbroken.
Oh, see, like, this would have helped with the challenge. Yeah, you are definitely intended to have this for the challenge, because it was taking forever to kill those other enemies. And Stab-A-Synth also would have meant that if we did miss a block, we deal damage regardless. I don't really care about any of those other abilities. I'm just not gonna buy them. It could be at near max crit percentage. Interesting. I guess I'll do more range with the
If you want
gun.
to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel.
Ooh, that locks me out of the menu when I press X for a long time. Don't have enough of this. Know what I'm gonna do? I just thought about it. Let's try something a bit different.
A bow ain't much good in a crowd, but a musket sure is.
Maybe we just dual wield guns, essentially. Okay, let's go to the proving ground of this one, because we haven't been to this yet. See if we could get any other upgrades.
Ever felt a soul wood gourd, like picking up broken glass barehanded?
So again, I don't care about the
As old wood
techniques.
grow, marshals learn to make every shot count.
Assuming it's, yeah, destroy as few as possible.
The trick was to pop all those nasty gourds without wasting ammo. Most marshals didn't get far the first few tries. Had to catch a bunch of those gourds in a single shot. Funny thing about muskets is they work best up close. The best of the best cleared the course in just a few shots.
Oh. I first tried that, really? Of course something fell. Salvo. I don't know what the target goal was. I don't feel like I did anything that crazy. We'll take it, though.
Kid probably could have made himself marshal one day.
Sounds like I got more weapon upgrades. Oh, yeah, more damage with the shotgun would have been nice. Yeah, I want to get that one as soon as possible. We could get yet another upgrade here. We something foul. We got one. We got an item for something I don't have yet. Interesting. Let's go to the hammer, which again is already at max. And if we're at full health, it can crit.
The city's unwanted things all met their end in the yard.
Okay. What does it want us to do? Destroy
Folks
objects on the
fouled
time
up with
limit?
their time here, smashing things to bits. The quicker they worked, the sooner they could go. Folks learn to plant their feet and put their backs into it. Others would plot a course to navigate that sea of junk. A good day's smashing can feed a family for a week.
I got second place. How fast did I need to do that? Off by 3 seconds. That one might be worth doing again. That one I feel like we were pretty close. I just didn't know where the objects were, so I think I could trim
Ever
off some
wanted to
time there.
smash things for a while. You know where to go.
That's fine. Again, we're getting potentially more upgrades for the hammer, which don't really matter here. But I could get 100% crit damage. Interesting. So I could just boost its damage overall if I need to, but that's not going to help in the challenge. The challenge is more about just going the right way.
Kid pays another visit to the scrapyard for old time's sake.
So Tumble will help us with some of these, I think.
Worked too slow and all you got was a sore back. Some folks invested their earnings to forge even better hammers.
Oh, That sucks. That's gonna cost me the time limit because I fell off. That sucks. That actually sucks. I was so close. I didn't realize I didn't realize there was that much of a gap there. I thought it was like one of those gaps you can walk on, but apparently you couldn't. We'll do it again. I was off by 1 second and we lost over 2 seconds comparatively. So I know I got this. All I have to do is just go in a circle and just don't miss the multi-strike ones and we're good. I don't like that you can't skip this cutscene for retries.
Always plenty there for smashing.
Oh, that's too slow. Huh. That's brutal. What did I do differently last time? Did I just tumble into a couple more faster? I mean, this is where hammer upgrades don't matter. It's about routing. Maybe I just need to tumble a little more? I mean, I'll do this a couple times. I mean, this one I feel like I could do. It's like, maybe I should have been tumbling a bit more in between. I left an object up there, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, okay.
Strongest, fastest folks earn more than their
I like that there's slightly over 100 objects. That's kind of nice. Little leniency there. Yeah, I just needed to tumble a bit more.
The kids worked the yard before, but that time it just plain destroyed it.
So the counter one I can do after I get the other bonus. I even want to do the proving ground one. Maybe we'll go back when we get like double throw and max machete. For now, let's go to the core, I guess.
There's Pith Orchard, built in honor of the bull, and folks like Zolf who pray to him.
Let's go here with our gun bow combo.
No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one.
Oh, the power shot comes so much faster now. That is a big quality of life change. Can't go that way.
Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too.
Feels like an enemy.
Seems Pith ain't much of a watchdog.
We fought the bull earlier. If we could get reload speed up on the musket, I think that would be pretty huge for us.
Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration.
Goodbye, cat and random people. Random items? Of course.
Pith makes a decent scarecrow at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine.
Unless the something lost is like if I complete a stage and miss an item. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe I'm just not exploring enough. I'm not really sure.
So what'll it be? Invoke the gods? Or tell them off?
Push shall go quicker, move to strike. No XP bonus. Invoke.
Pith.
And now we can get... Maybe this is how you make up for the XP to level faster.
Kid decides to press his luck. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore.
Shotgun putting in the work
Kid
at the
ain't never
moment.
seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith put a scare in him.
It's kind of like getting heat in Hades. I don't... Oh, I threw a grenade. I was like, what did I just do? Okay, there we go.
Kid passes Pith's trial, and he's richer for it.
Nice. Well, I guess I know what our next unlock is. Plush Pith.
The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god.
It's like... Oh, I did... Lance. That sucks. Again, putting things where originally there nothing where nothing was. Sad.
Kid ain't found a core, but at least he found Zolf's precious shrine.
Interesting I can't go over here. I'll just leave. Visit the shrine to access greater challenges and greater rewards.
Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind.
Plush Pith. We'd like to hang on to this, or people worship the same gods as us after all.
Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy.
Oh boy, is that a challenge? I feel like that's gonna result in a challenge. Oriole killed 3.
The breakers. Ain't no one can outrun them. Or their arrows.
Enemies with an arrow, which as I said before, I was surprised we didn't already get. Looked up rocks about the Plush Pith.
The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls.
Let's see. We could upgrade the shotgun to do more damage.
The marshals learned to pack those shells full of fire.
Hammer could get an upgrade. Gun I'm not using. This one eventually I should do. Quite enough to do anything here yet. We have an okay amount of things we could be using. One where we get 2 extra health tonics and each health tonic full heals is pretty powerful. Yeah, we'll do the proving grounds later. Let's just move on for now. Actually, before we do that. Does touching the flesh thing make me get into a fight? No, it just makes noises at me.
Kid takes another drag, goes out like a light.
Oh, so this is how you would get... Oh, I understand now. You would do this for experience in case you didn't get enough in the stages. Okay.
There's something you should know about the kid, but let me take it from the top.
So I could keep doing this for experience and backstory on specifically, quote-unquote, the kid. That did not go the way I wanted to aim it.
The past catches up with a kid. night's rest since all this started.
Like that I can kind of like bow immediately into the shotgun.
Fair to say he's led a hard life. Supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie.
And these enemies aren't even getting a chance to spawn. Kind of sad.
He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there.
Spin in circles real quick, don't mind me. Thought it was out of range, especially since I was walking backwards. Shame. Deal.
School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money.
Oh, it could be. I mean, if he's gonna talk about, like, nobody likes going back to the walls or whatever.
Kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there.
Yeah, maybe it is a
The
repeat.
elements, the Ura, you name it.
Crit damage, though.
Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too.
Yeah, okay, this is starting to sound familiar again. Oh, that poison shot went so far. I thought there's no way it would reach me from there. Speaking of which... Oh, I do not like the hand grenade either. Man, I really just don't like the specials in this game so far, other than Whirlwind. Not a fan.
The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either.
It's like so... It's like so specific of an arc. I don't have a lot of control over it.
So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years.
That's not the... not what I wanted to do.
In the history of Ceylondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls.
Yeah. Weapon skills, not feeling them. Maybe one of the later ones will be
Out
useful.
there, kid learned to fend for himself.
It's a lot of damage, but it's just
Learned to
not...
break.
It's not at a range that's useful to me. Like, Mirror Shield might actually be better. Well, no, not really. I don't really want to Mirror Shield. I'm going to manually block if it comes down to that. Yeah, the faster draw speed is making the bow kind of
In
MVP
time,
right now.
The kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered,
Well,
cracked, and split apart.
on the plus side, feeling pretty strong. Oh, the hole. Darn you new holes in the pathways.
He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that.
Or healing. No. Game, please. Game, please.
kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back.
We definitely have enough for another weapon upgrade, so if I want to try the sword challenge again, it's probably doable now with double throw.
Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him.
That is not where I wanted to throw it. Yeah, the grenade does not seem to have any kind of tracking, unlike the other weapons, so that feels really bad to use. So it's much more annoying to hit with it than you think. Like, the other weapons seem to have, like, a soft lock. Like, if I'm looking vaguely in their direction, it'll correct it by, like, one rotation like this. But the grenade does not do that. Yeah, I wish he angled it towards, like, the nearest foe.
But then, all they got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name.
I mean, I guess this dialogue is slightly different now. Yeah, he did basically repeat what we already knew to some extent. Again, I like the 1-2 shot I could do where I could just arrow into the gun.
Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made him real, not me.
Oh, the bull again. That is an annoying attack.
I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would.
At least I have enough to upgrade, question mark? Apparently all the enemies are just the same type of species, but at different stages of their own life cycle. They could upgrade the war machete to maybe get more crit chance.
Points just don't get any sharper than that.
And almost get the gun upgrade, which I do want. I don't think I really care about these other abilities because I don't need to use them again. Grenade is okay. I mean, is there really nothing else? You know what? I'll put Trip Mine down just so that things don't get close to me. I guess that was okay. Nothing new here. Anything in the Lost and Found I should have? Not really. Let's retry the machete one. And then we'll continue with the story. It seems like we're clearing pretty fast
Always
through the
time
game.
for juice and squirts, they used to say.
With these things obviously adding to the playtime for the challenges. Okay, it's doing a lot more damage now compared to before.
At least the little fellas
Game,
can feel it.
please stop targeting the thing that's the furthest from me. Game, please. Thank you. I have no idea where it's attempting for me to attack. Game, please. Thank you. I know about healing. I don't want to heal. Oh man, the throw is just so bad, chat. I don't even know what to say. Like, it is just horrendously terrible. Again, it just feels like worst bow. I'd also like to point out, it's really unfair that they could just go so far out of the arena. Can we talk about this? Like, that's not okay.
Best to put them away first, before they rile up the others.
Oh my gosh. Why? Why, chat? Why are they so far away? This one feels like an RNG challenge. Like, if they do this, like, what am I supposed to do? Also, I don't like that you have to swing first and then you start charging. By the way, that also feels pretty terrible. I don't think I cleared this any faster. Game, please.
Place gets awful slick sometimes.
Wow. I absolutely hate this challenge. I might just give up on this. I'm near max. What was it? Was it in a minute 30? What was the under 9 it? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do to clear this faster. I have almost all the machete upgrades. It feels really bad to use, to be honest with you. Like, ugh. This just makes me hate it even more. That wasn't useful. I could try to cripple them and then get blade throw, I guess. See if this approach is faster. Like, I killed this spawn really quickly with the crits, but then, like, I just couldn't kill anything else with it.
The ranch was always looking for good help.
I'll try one more time with the new setup to see how this feels. Why does it not want to target the other enemy? Game, please. Alright, so the damage over time is actually pretty effective there. I think saves me time overall. Yeah, this just feels like this actually feels like pure RNG, whether or not you can do this one fast. Just because, like, if they're on the floor, you could kind of, you know, do stuff like this. Like, I'm almost done with all of them, but, like, again, it's dependent on what they do here. Wow, this is a trash challenge. I'm gonna give up on this. This is just stupid. I hate it. I hate that they're bouncing fast. I hate how slow the throw is. I'm at max upgrades and I feel absolutely helpless to the RNG. Like, look at that. What am I supposed to do? I'm aiming at him and he still misses. It's crazy. Like, look at this. Like, that's where you just kind of shrug. Like, seriously? I literally doubled the number of throwing stuff just to deal with this. Hate this weapon, chat. I'm never using this weapon again after this session. Wow. Wow, come on. What was that? Oh, come on. Give me a break. He threw two of them and he split the shot and they both missed. Honestly. Honestly, what is this BS? I don't even want to see how people do it. I'm not interested. I don't like this weapon. I'm done with it. Get it out of here. Let's see, do I want one of these? Maybe. Yeah, if they stayed within the arena, I would have done it. But if they're just gonna, like, hop around full screen, like, practically off screen unless I'm at the very tip, stupid. I'm not doing it.
That's the Langston River. Used to cut all the way to the wild. Think it was bad then.
Like, absolutely stupid, chat. I'm not doing that. Oh, actually, speaking of which, how many points do I have left over? Not quite enough. Okay. We'll get it in the next area. Just like, I'm like, no way. I'm like, get out of here.
The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off.
Okay, like the magnet. Magnet so far has been the best investment of all the drinks that we have. Shotgun being slightly stronger is nice.
Bags.
Although I'm getting trolled with the, like, rush in the way.
They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat.
Game, please.
Weepin' Nelly. Just send some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nelly knows.
Oh, the right stick shield. I didn't understand what that was doing at first. Because I was using L2, actually.
Or maybe not. A security skiff pulls up portside. Nelly's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with.
Okay, so I can use the right stick to block. Okay, that's decent. I just had been aiming with it so long with the bow that I didn't realize that was a thing.
They try to cut her off.
Gotta shoot where I think the enemies are gonna be.
They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nelly tries hard.
Just, I absolutely murdered that bird.
Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors.
I think that damaged me, which kinda sucks.
At least she picked a good spot for a break. 'Cause the core's right there.
Not gonna switch out. Would have made more sense if I got another weapon. Yeah, now I could just very lightly tap it and it shoots. That's such a big quality of life change.
Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. They've been watching his every move. Peckers. They have their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nelly raring to go.
I don't see the place collapsing, so I'm gonna take my time, despite the rapid screen shakes. Definitely bird
she's
murder.
got a special surprise for when the waters get rough.
Okay, friendly turrets that we can protect.
She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Traffic things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these.
That was rude. He started charging off screen, by the way. That was really rude.
Security skiffs keep on coming starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something.
I think I'm crowd controlling them fairly well here. Getting dominated. Range superiority, chat. Why hammer when you got a gun and a bow?
Windbags getting even better out here. They aim to smash Weepin' Nelly to splinters. Well, it all
Oh,
too much for poor Nelly.
they hit me off the boat. That sucked.
She's just gotta make one last stop.
Hello, Radish. Hope you're doing well.
Last breath. gets the kid to solid ground.
I'm doing fine.
Ground and picker country. They want that core real bad.
They want the core. Oh, I got.
They want it just as bad as a kid. Kid shoos them off.
That enemy is a pretty hard counter to the bow. They move way too fast for me to dodge.
Back there.
Glad you're doing well.
Times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part.
President aggressive spears of birds now harboring a post-calamity superiority complex. Hello,
Why go to
flashback.
Prosper Bluff.
Oh, did I go to a new area unintentionally? I didn't want to.
Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far.
I might have missed an item that was around the corner. Not sure. We can't go through the door until we get a key or something.
The city was the most beautiful place in the world.
Or switch.
We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't.
Got poisoned? Okay, that's what the new plant does.
And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it?
Oh, gun. Never leave me now that you're upgraded.
The other kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again?
I was gonna say, now this is reminding me of Hades again.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, you shot projectiles at me. I was wondering what hit me. Okay, so nothing hidden over here. Are you immune to the bow? Is that why I couldn't kill you earlier? That's quite annoying. Glad you like the background narrator voice. He speaks throughout the whole game. He might be the only voice in the game outside of the songs. Oh, that cloud lingered forever. Get over here. Sky bridge jumps. I'm so glad we have magnet XP. I think we would have lost all that XP otherwise. I saw a couple birds over there. I'm gonna fire off some shots. That's probably good enough. Get closer. I popped the plant. Unfortunate. I ricocheted it, which is nice, but not what I was going for. Lost the healing. That sucks. Switch. Not seeing where items can be in this place so far. The path reveals itself. That is unfortunate. Here's a switch. What's over here? Okay, another switch. I'm just looking for where the possibly alternate paths are. There's a switch over here that doesn't seem to do anything else. Maybe I'll go to this one first. I saw an item up there, but how do I reach that? Let's take a look again. I hope I don't permanently loot that. That would make me very sad. get over there from that angle. What the? Is that not a solid floor? What was that? Oh, Chad, I feel cheated. Is that not solid? Oh, we glitched through the floor? You're all witnesses. I definitely clipped through the floor there. Definitely did. Okay, so that doesn't redirect that at all. That is so rude. I think this was the... Okay. I think this will lead to the... What? Okay. I feel like the floor here is exceptionally weird. I'll try not to tumble too much. It does not like me tumbling.
Did we just see something we weren't supposed to?
You did see something you weren't supposed to. I'm pretty sure I'm not meant to clip out of bounds by just doing what I just did. I might have to actually use a healing potion just due to taking a lot of unnecessary damage. All that for barely any XP? Okay, that wasn't worth it.
Well, no point explaining what happens next, right?
Got a journal.
Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
I actually wanted to keep exploring. Oh no, am I stuck? Oh no. Okay, I got out. Okay. It forced the camera and I got stuck on something. I had to like wiggle out. I think that they didn't anticipate you wanting to explore, which is awkward. Talk to the singer.
They'll be here before too long.
Singer agreed to return to the Bastion. That's a shame. I might have missed an easy item just because I didn't think it would screen lock me.
When the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find.
There was one last core to wait, am I actually almost done with the game? When he said it like that, I'm like, is there? Unless there's, like, we do only have one left. Highbound journal, what do you make of the drawings and diagrams? Isn't this written in your native language?
A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. Ain't always much to say. Kid says hello, but Zolf's lost in thought.
Do ancient spices.
Most of the Ura never got a taste of Caelondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here.
On spyglass?
Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see. But leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view.
Marshal's badge.
Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they?
The kid says hello. Yeah, we don't say hello.
So many secrets in there, and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal.
Okay. I would love to upgrade to reduce penalty of range, maybe.
To master the musket, you gotta get rid of the recoil.
Okay, I got one for the war machete from the previous challenge.
Bravers, the arm of justice. They seemed unstoppable.
I mean, that's kind of convenient that I got it on that challenge. So I don't really want... Well, I mean, we don't have any of these weapons, so I mean, maybe there is more to the game, but it seems kind of weird. I guess maybe we're looking for...
Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either.
He says, I shouldn't have believed it either. Okay, so there's more than just this. Put the shrine down.
Behold, the Pantheon.
Or shall have vengeance and throes of death.
A Kobe.
I don't think I really care at this point. Is it just... Oh, oops. Is it just XP? Yeah, I don't really care. We're just gonna beat the game as is. I'm gonna level soon. Fine.
We track the final core beyond the city to the wilds. That's the edge of the wilds, where Jocelyn and his boys disappeared.
Okay. Let's at least do this, and then I think we'll take a break.
The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it.
Like, we just always faceplant. We never land on our feet, just bam. All over. In stash. Cooling pistol. No!
Know what's better than having a slinger pistol in a fight?
You got...
Having two.
You got rid of my bow for that? Oh,
It's
that's gonna
faster than a
feel
slinger
so
with those
bad.
guns.
That is gonna feel...
Savage things lurking at every turn.
That is gonna feel crazy bad.
Pin cushions ain't the worst of it either.
Oh, that feels really awkward to use. Oh, you can just hold the button, or you could rapid
Pickers got
mash.
the core,
Interesting.
like they're building a bastion of their own.
So if I am good at
Welcome to
pressing the
bring a
button, I
scramble
can kill
to
them quickly.
attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon.
Wow, I'm gonna die because it's forcing me to use an item that I don't like. Interesting.
They shouldn't have let the guard down.
Yeah, that really sucks. I have no melee weapon,
Core's
and
right there, itching to come home.
I don't have a big damage thing. So now, like, mini bosses, I don't have a way to kill them quickly. Oh, what's this? Am I allowed to go this way before the core? Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage from that. Oh. I misunderstood. I thought that meant I could... Oh, that sucks. At least we got
Getting
healed.
that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight.
Digging off screen, not available in this version.
Wallflowers survive the Calamity.
How do I kill this?
It toughened him up.
Okay, I gotta let them open up, I guess. I'd just like to say, chat, this feels really awkward having two
Let's take it
reload
real
weapons.
slow when pin cushions are afoot. Don't ever turn your back on a pin cushion. Slinger Johnson's old outpost is all that's left of him.
Alright, we'll keep dueling pistols for movement, but I really need a damage weapon. Let's put the bow back on.
A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kid's seen the last of them.
Sync voice for the character. Cat does seem to enjoy the narrator.
Kid's roused up half the wild by now.
Why is it not aiming? You break their game. There we go.
Gotta keep a sure foot out there.
That's a gap there. Thanks, game. Nice leveled up. So far, max health hasn't been a huge issue. I've gotten like low-ish occasionally, but I also, as a reminder, still have 3 healing potions that I almost never use. It's just always there. Pistols are interesting. I just wish we could have upgraded them. You can see I'm canceling our dodge with the bullet.
He gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of 2-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters and he only make him mad. The Calamity must have scrambled their eggs. Hardly any signs of the old Jocelyn camp.
I'm not gonna lie, that XP coming towards me I thought was a projectile, so I dodge rolled.
The wilds already reclaimed this place.
It fell. The gun is kind of fun.
He's anxious to get back.
It's not
After
bad.
all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no. It ain't. Not by a long shot.
This shares also estimated to be unlike him. She was born and raised in Syldonia. Okay. Little lore
People know
there.
Something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Zolf can barely muster the words. The Calamity failed, he says. But I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone.
Ominous. Talk about the fractured monument. Are you here? What happened back here?
Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him.
I mean, they're trying to paint him like a bad guy, but if the journal was about how Rux was building something and then he realized it caused the Calamity, and the thing we're doing is the reason why the Calamity exists, is it said he was building the Bastion at the time. That would make sense. The story still checks out with this, with the stranger being evil. I'm not falling for this game. 100% crit chance when low on health, I guess.
Where whiskey has no scent, but tastes like a peppered boot heel. It's not for everyone.
Dual decider. Show gain resilience to physical harm. Oh, it's an idol. Let's look at another spirit. Yeah, I don't trust the narrator either. I suppose get auto damage. Can I get any fun upgrades, like with the gun? Is there bullet scatter? I feel like I barely noticed. Let's get more bullets.
Takes a lot of moving pieces to make a dependable sidearm.
So we'll leave gun on. I feel like this has been working pretty well for us.
Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put it back together. The shards.
Ah, that's how they extended further.
We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health.
Huh. There's not a challenge for getting the gun. There's no challenge for gun. Kind of a shame.
The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.
Let's see what the proving ground gun thing is like. We got extra bullets.
You have to think fast to survive the wilds, and none thought faster than the slingers. They could shoot their pistols with the speed of a machine.
I mean, I'm pretty good at rapid shooting. I gotta restart it.
They knew just when to start shooting and when to stop.
Oh, I could see the... I could see the scatter being annoying, actually.
Those pistols could spit out rounds just as quick as you could pull the trigger.
Ooh, that felt kind of bad.
Learning to hold your fire could be its own challenge.
Oh, I don't want to hold my fire. Get out of here. Oh, yeah, the scatter is costing us some points. I kind of want to retry this just without the scatter. Because in normal combat, I don't think it matters, but on this one, where I need precision, kind of important. Because I don't get a penalty for hold fire, it just more forces me to stop shooting. Chat is wondering.
Slingers were much quicker than the average pistolier.
I got a 3rd place prize. What do I need a score of, out of curiosity? 500? Oh, that wasn't too bad. So we're gonna try that again, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the thing where we remove the scatter, because that was actually stopping us from killing it.
Well, even the slingers weren't quick enough to escape the calamity.
Let us... Ooh, not enough for that one. We'll do this one, and if nothing else, we could do more damage. And that would probably let us win for the higher place prize. I love how it's like, please attack. Tap the attack button faster with dual pistols to shoot faster.
Faster than you could say draw.
So we have new potential weapon upgrades just by doing these. We'll take it. Yeah, that's much better.
The slingers like to edge each other out using customized pistols.
Yeah, our score's already climbing much higher.
Eventually, it all comes down to reflexes.
Almost a 500 for 2nd place. I mean, you can see I'm mashing it pretty quick.
No matter how fast you are, you can always get faster.
Really? What? How many points did it want for that? 700 or something? Huh. I'm not really sure how to do that faster. Unless more damage means I need less bullets to destroy it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. I don't feel like I was doing it that slow. And all my bullets hit, so I didn't miss bullets. Felt kind of weird. Reload wouldn't help me there. Okay. We'll continue with this, I guess. Oh, well. Go to Jawson Bog. Get the info on it.
Slinger Range is where the city's quickest pistoliers put themselves to the test. The less said about Jawson Bog, the better. That place will eat your mind.
Sure, I guess we'll keep going.
After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back.
Yeah, maybe we could do like 1 or 2 more areas, and then we'll save the rest for next time.
Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad.
Oh, I thought there was gonna be an item over there. I got excited.
But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
Uh-oh, I passed out in front of the shard. That's not good for us. This place is intoxicating. While unknown span much of the continent, tempting the city with its riches and mysteries.
Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good, for all I know. Wherever he is, somewhere I've never been.
heck?
somewhere I never want to go.
This sucks. I don't have a good weapon for this. Welcome to most of my health there. That's a rude challenge.
The dead welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him
Well, this was a really big difficulty jump. Okay. Rude.
Better survivor. No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella.
Oh my gosh, their fast spawns are ridiculous. Oh, I am not liking this dungeon so far. We have rapidly spawning enemies.
What do you say to a kid who's seen too much?
So I got punished for not having the shotgun. I think the shotgun would have helped me there.
I'm Zolf of Ura. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, vine apples, swamp weeds, ankle gators.
Game's being very... I can't believe that hit me from there. I got another heal. Okay, we got most of our healing back. Okay, feeling a little better. I'm assuming we're on a trip to some extent. Because it did seem like we got gassed as we got close.
Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
Go to the saloon.
Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes.
We were here earlier.
The security's just gonna be straight.
I'm gonna put a bomb down. I feel like that was just the right call, just to save some time.
He has the nerve to flash the shield he stole. He's a petty thief.
Getting judged for using that, interesting. Not enough spirit. Potentially upgrade the gun again.
Kid succeeds where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Rondi the bartender?
Or Rondi.
Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull.
Like the floating plush icon, or the plushies.
The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left
Oh.
of his lifelong friend.
I thought that was an object I could grab, and then it turned into me and it started fighting me.
His friend, he's come undone too.
Goodbye, me.
He sees what's left undone.
Ordinary campsite. They certainly had fun with this one. Going to bed. We're going to the plot bed.
thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to. The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole.
Oh,
Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels.
that's annoying. Enemy that roots me in place.
Ever heard of the lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say.
I'm sure this would be a very intimidating boss if I didn't have full screen weapons. Right, chat? Like, this would probably be more of a threat. I mean, it's kind of hard to see with the screen shakes. In fact, can I turn the
Say
screen
one
shakes
whiff
off?
of lung blossom can make you lose your mind.
Why can my bullets not go through there?
The breath on that thing, like a scumbag's rug leak.
Poor boss. I mean, it sort of hit me, but it's more just due to screen shake. Out of curiosity, can I turn that off? Because I actually find that really annoying. No. Okay, I have to live with the screen shake. Because to me, it's like it's pulled out and shaking, so it's really hard for me to get any idea where to precision dodge.
Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it.
Could potentially upgrade the guns, which I think I will. Want a serious challenge? Not really. I'm just gonna go beat the game, I guess.
A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers.
Let's get damage up.
He's made a right comfortable bed for all those bullets. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places.
And another upgrade tier. Interesting. I was wondering why there weren't challenges for the other weapons. It only gives me a secret skill? Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'll be real with you. Let's do this. Get the forge
Ain't
upgraded.
saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city.
Oh, there we go. That feels more complete of a game. Okay, that's fair. This is gonna take forever to unlock at this rate. But hey, it means I can upgrade the bow again in the future. I would like 50% more damage from the bow. I think that's a really good combo with us. So penetration, +2, get almost 100% damage. Gun, we could potentially get up to... Penetrating bullets is kind of interesting. Yeah, we'll do the distillery next, I think. And I don't really care about the achievements. Anything worth getting in here? Not really. Let's do another stage.
City tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan.
Shard detected. Gators and Earleaks think though folks say ancient ones reside in the Rothus Lagoon.
Ankle
Interesting.
gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothus Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here.
Aim, please. Why did you aim this with the arrow?
All kinds of beasts what don't know up from down, still lurking about.
There we go.
These beasts, they don't like company.
Oh, hello. Nice power shot.
Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon.
Oh, putting in the work as usual. Really liking bow withdrawal speed increase. That's pretty much what it was missing. I needed to just be able to very quickly fire, and it's definitely a lot
Even the
faster now.
brushers learned to fear this place.
There we go. And now the bow also helps with annoying shield flowers like that.
They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne.
Thought I was gonna walk away in time.
Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things.
They love shiny things, chat.
The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course. Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? The stinkweed. Ain't time for pecker hunting, but the kid can't resist. Can't fight Queen Anne without the proper tools.
Are you gonna get rid of one of my weapons again? I really don't appreciate it right
They
now.
say you can't hurt an ankle gator unless it's raining. And it ain't raining. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same.
But I could already attack at a distance. What do you mean?
Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit.
Oh,
He's got a mean throwing arm.
interesting.
Most of those peckers are smart enough to stay out of Queen Anne's way.
Okay, so if I dodge roll, I could get a little slide with it. That's interesting. I mean, it's okay.
Those pin cushions been living off the ankle gator's scraps. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths.
Why is the poison lingering for so long? Game, please. That went literally like 7 enemy units from itself, and it just lasted over 10 seconds. That's pretty obnoxious.
Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass, and he's Queen Anne's lunch. Still no sign of the shard.
I don't really want sneaky decoy. The trip mine back. Pike is okay. I think I'd still rather have gun.
Well, the brusher's way ain't really his style.
Game commenting on what I'm doing again. Come on. There we go.
The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. The kid's gotta make a run for it.
Can't injure it at all.
Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Bad
Oh,
walking gator grass.
I thought I was outside. I thought I walked through it and then walked out, but I didn't. It's annoying. Very, very gimmicky, this level.
Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around.
Nothing real quick. Absorb some experience. Well, Queen Anne Colgator, something like that.
Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. The shard's sitting in plain view. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. She's starting to get annoyed.
A lot of damage. That's so many projectiles. Please stop. Oh, I thought the mine would go off before that happened. That sucks. Okay, it is a really ridiculously big hitbox. There we go.
Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That
Bad
was
enemy.
for Russia's.
Out of here. Oh, I didn't realize I was reloading. That sucked. That was a lot of damage. Wanted that. Not worth it. Wait a minute. What's the point of this thing? Unless I gotta run to that.
He's got it, and he's home free.
Okay, that is the
Kid's done what needed to be done.
yeah, we'll have one last level.
Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel.
Talk to each of them here. Think an ankle gator could be tamed.
That gator's a crazy gal, but so is the gal who promised to look after her.
There we go. Make the ankle gator chase me around. We've seen anything like this before. We asked the very suspicious narrator.
They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't.
Okay, not too shabby. So many points for the next upgrade. That's brutal. I don't really want to grind experience. I gotta be careful with what I do here. If anything interesting
Stab
there.
synth is like drinking a cool breeze. Just don't go spitting needles everywhere. Even our lightest range weapons are not to be taken lightly. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it.
So potentially there's only 5 or 6 more stages left. I mean, if we get all the upgrades, maybe we have like a final stage afterwards. Let's do the foundation. Distillery.
Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve.
Reduce damage from falling. Let's do black tonics, or I haven't thought they would have killed you. Nah, this is fun. The achievement one might have technically given us some more things if I needed it. I need 3 more first places, not too bad. We'll do one more, and then we'll take a short break. Don't really care about all of the idols for experience. Fine.
The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds.
We'll try the proving ground.
Over there is Camp Dauncey, where the brushers steel themselves for secret missions.
Which reminds me, we didn't upgrade the spear. I should try at least to see what the upgrades are. Oh, I actually can. I don't have... Oh, I don't have the ability to... Don't have the ability to upgrade it. Interesting. I have one thing I haven't identified yet, so we'll see. There's still quite a few weapons left, so it's possible if I get like one more a stage, more or less, it's okay.
To prepare for the wilds, Ceylandia's brushers practice at Camp Dauncey. Had to navigate a maze of pincushions with nothing but a pike.
Assuming it's just don't take damage is going to be the challenge.
It's a dangerous test for a dangerous job.
Wait, why can I not tumble? What?
Health tonics were off limits at Camp Dauncey.
I got stuck there. I got stuck on the enemy. Wow. Thanks, game. I thought it was fine, because I could just walk forward, but no. It told me health tonics were off limits late. That's why it gave me that prompt, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna heal, because I got stuck randomly. It'd be nice to not get stuck.
The Fool said he couldn't use any fancy footwork, just your brains and your pike.
Well, you told me that a bit late. I also, by the way, chat, you can't tumble. The game literally only told me that now. I think I went out of order and confused the game. I'm pretty sure I did the switches out of order. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. We'll restart area. Yeah, that felt kind of unfair. It's like, oh, by the way, you can't heal. Oh, by the way, you can't tumble. And I'm like, oh, way to tell me after I'm taking damage.
For a dangerous job.
Oh, that's the restart. I do the same thing I did last time, which is just go this way. Only I'm gonna actually hit the switches.
You had to find a path through the maze as quick as you could.
Map, but that's fine. I'm gonna do it very slow because I just don't know where the switches are. Obviously, if you could just choose the tank, it would be better in some scenarios, just to save some time.
One well-placed throw could take out several of those ugly critters.
Oh, does it have Pierce? Because this is the first time I've really used the weapon. Interesting. So that also would have been good to know earlier, that it has Pierce. That would have saved me some time.
Just getting through the course in one piece was an accomplishment.
Uh-oh, chat. You got one piece. So we didn't have any spear upgrades, so I think that went okay. Do I really want to do that one again? Not really. I mean, it just seems like there is a strategy to it. It feels
prize those pikes of theirs.
It feels more fair than the random position enemies on the machete, but I still don't like the challenge. Master throw reload. I mean, that also probably would have helped the other thing. Guess I'll not purchase it because I don't plan on using the spear. And final area for the session anyway. Point Lemaine.
Point Lemaine's grand rail once brought the riches of the wild right to our doorstep. Know how Caelondia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. But now, the greatest outpost past the city line is nothing but a freak show. The army's triggers once had the place on lockdown.
Of course. Right, chat. Big sigh. Of course.
Kid might as well pick up where they left off. Blam. Just like my fighting days. Gun like that can even put the wilds in check.
Let me get this straight. You got rid of my single target precision thing to give me an even slower precision shot. That doesn't do well under pressure. Thanks, game.
Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done.
Yeah, that felt pretty bad. If it got rid of my pistol, that also would have felt bad. Honestly, no matter what it gets rid of, it would have been bad.
Whole place shudders in a fit. The grand rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works.
Am I on an auto-scroller? What's happening?
No shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks.
I guess we're in an auto-scroller for some reason. Very gimmicky, right, chat? Very, very gimmicky.
Thrown over with things of calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Kid don't let so much as one of those things slip by.
Oh, that was an awkward time to reload. That was a super awkward time to reload.
Lunkheads settled in like they own the place.
Wow, that felt so bad. That felt so bad.
Takes fancy footwork on the rail, what with wallflowers, cough, and fungus everywhere.
Please let me get rid of this. Begging you, please let me get rid of this. Also, I saw it spawn an enemy behind me. I saw it that time. You like that, chat? You're going for the healing potion, it's like, surprise! Perish. I'm gonna shoot all my bullets just to get the reload out of the way. Kinda worked.
Place used to be closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple.
A rotten vine apple. Let's see what they did there. Well, okay, that was very rude.
The Grand Rails see much more fighting in bygone times.
That was extremely rude. Did you see it firing? Like, it was like a third of the way on the screen and it fired. Wow, that is so rude.
Near on 50 years ago, first shots fired in the Ura-Selandian War.
Okay, we got something sharp at least. So rude.
It was right here that Zolf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up.
And I just want to keep up upgrading bow. Honestly, it's been Old Faithful.
Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing.
Because I only
Bad.
have so many upgrades that I can afford, so I want to focus on the ones I'm actually using.
The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs.
That enemy is also really awkward to fight in a small area. Can't say I'm a fan.
The rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store for you. All the rotten wood there on the rails turned it into Swampweed Central. Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath? While choking on swampweed. While peckers trying to prick you in the eye. Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun.
Okay, that one actually legitimately shot at me off screen. That one legitimately shot at me while it had no visual tell. The projectile was just there. That sucked. They should not be allowed to do that. That's actually just BS. Yeah, I don't like that. That happened in games like... I mean, it happens in a lot of games where they can start their attack animation off screen. But, man, that feels so bad.
Then at last, it's the end of the line. They'll be picking swampweed out of those boots for days.
think in Rogue Legacy was the last time we played a game where that was just like super
Turns out he's
annoying
got
that it
company
happened.
up at the rail station, waiting for him.
Oh, this enemy sucks.
Not just another wallflower, pincushion, mind you. At first, he thinks it's Zolf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham.
Then wham, chat.
When the kid comes to, the man's long gone, but something else is there.
Got the sealed
The
note.
only words the kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note.
Everyone wants to use the mighty battering rams and attempts to smash the rippling walls. Interesting.
That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it?
That does it. Give her the ceramic pot.
Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get.
Okay. Give the sealed note over. It's addressed to her.
The note says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zolf. He ain't all that shy.
Zia is in the Zolf's handwriting.
Zolf's messenger was one of his people. Wonder just how many of them survived, and what exactly Zolf told him.
Yeah, it seems weird he'd let us go with the shard.
It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place.
I guess I'll get the monument first to see if I get more money, then I'll get the thing where I can spend money. I don't have money to get the shop in the bottom right be useful. Maybe we'll get money this way. Or
The
essence.
memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over.
Yeah, like we might end up doing one of these. Yeah, like we just get 2,000 for upgrading. Just need to get 3,000 more shards and we get 2,000 more shards. Earn enough experience to hit level 5. I mean, some of, like, we'll get these eventually. We might even get them in the next area. We could go for some of these bonuses. They're relatively minor. I need one more mementos and we're about to get a lot of points. We're getting close. The army carbine bullets cause knockback 30% speed while aiming. No, I think we save up for the bow, chat. The bow doing 50% more is insane. And maybe the wild ricochet would be really good to deal with crowds. So that way we have a better crowd control weapon. Love all these abilities that just have no interest in using. I'm like, it's fine. We don't need them. Out of curiosity, I'm not gonna do another
Shards
stage.
are getting harder to find.
We got a proving ground for the gun. So if we complete 2 more proving grounds, we can end up getting something nice. See how it goes for now. We're making some progress at least. Let's chat a little bit. I'll just leave the music like this actually. So I guess I'll give my first impressions of the game. It definitely feels like it's a slightly earlier version of like a Hades kind of gameplay. Tumbles are a little awkward. I think it's interesting that you can like momentum cancel with them, but I feel at the same time that melee just doesn't feel worth it. I do like that there is like a parry system, and I think like that's the only way that melee is like somewhat salvageable. But yeah, it feels like just a really high risk to just deal or to take massive damage from enemies that zip really quickly. And it's like, I don't really ever want to go into like an enemy type like that. Granted, if there's something that's very stationary or has like a big wind up, then melee makes sense. But we fought like a lot of the birds, and the birds were like all over us. And I wouldn't really want to use a melee weapon on that enemy, and they're fairly common, both the projectile one and the zipper. So guns and ranged weapons seem to be the way for it. Yeah, you can see some of like the intent of the weapons from this game transferring over to Hades. I like that there's kind of the forge system. It lets me kind of decide what I'd prefer to do in order to get, you know, if I like the bow, I power up the bow kind of thing. And so far that's been working okay. I have no interest in the shrine. The memorial gives you more to do as you're playing the game itself. Lost and Found seems kind of okay. It's just another way to spend points. I'm not a big fan of the fact that it takes away your weapon for a while. I mean, like, I understand it. I don't think they could really change it per se. But there's definitely situations where I should have at least been able to choose what weapon it gets rid of. I think that would have made more sense. So even if I had to, like, pick up the weapon and then we try it and then we get rid of it at the arsenal, which they do thankfully put, I would have liked to have had the ability to choose which slot it gets rid of. Or even honestly gotten rid of the special button to have 3 weapons. Because I honestly don't use specials at all. That would have felt decent-ish. But anyway, I think those are my thoughts. I think we'll continue playing for sure. I don't think I'm going to 100% the game. Some of the challenges look really annoying and not really fun. They don't really seem skill-based as much as RNG-based, so yeah, we're gonna hard pass on 100%ing the challenges. We're gonna try all the challenges, don't get me wrong, but we're proving grounds where you have to deal the kill all enemies with machete. Nah, just no. And who knows, maybe there's some really late game machete upgrade that makes like machete ricochet, and it'll be like, oh, they clearly wanted you to have this before you tried it, kind of things. As we've seen before, some of the weapon upgrades are kind of defining of the weapon itself. Like the bow draw speed made the bow go from kind of clunky to a really consistent high damage pierce. So who knows? But for now, we're gonna take a short break on the stream, but from the standpoint of the YouTube video / the VOD, we are done with Bastion for now. So if you did watch to this point, I'd like to thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time.